Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing the concept of weights and measures and Thai baht gold. So when I say Thai baht gold, baht is not only the name of the currency here in Thailand, it's also a weight and measure of Thai gold itself. I've done a video on this topic before, and it's also on this channel. You can just go to our search function and just search Thai gold. But the reason for this video is I often have people tell me, and look, I'm no expert on metals or precious metals or gold or anything, but I've been in Thailand a long time, and you could call me a gold bug. I do on a personal level. I find gold rather fascinating, and maybe I'm sort of like Gollum in Lord of the Rings, the precious or something. That's not really how I'm like, but I find gold interesting. And I found it especially interesting when I came to Thailand and first learned that Thailand sort of has their own gold system. And the first time I looked at it, frankly, I scoffed a little bit because I was used to the international weight and measure, generally speaking, sort of a 1 troy ounce, 99.9 fine gold. That's kind of the standard. It's not standard weight necessarily, but the measure 99.9, you would often say, or 99%, you often see that in an international context. The reason for this video is because I've often heard people say, well, Thai gold, it's 96.5, it's not the same purity, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know that that's necessarily where you should be focusing if you're interested in Thai gold, because there's other things going on with this. I've made a video on Thai gold and fungibility. The Thai Gold Traders Association, Thai gold shops, Thai gold is very fungible. It's very useful. A lot of Thais use it as a mechanism for savings, not only as ornamentation, but, Thai gold is, and it's got a very old tradition here in Thailand. Remember, Thailand's never been colonized, and many of its practices date back a long time, back, almost into the mists of history, if you will. But I wanted to go ahead and quote from the U.S. Constitution, specifically Article 1, and quoting, "Congress shall have the power to coin money, regulate the value thereof, and of foreign coin, and fix the standard of weights and measures." And it's notable here because the Thais have in their constitution, or in their sort of constitutional framework, little c constitution, they have their own weight and measure, the baht weight and measure of Thai gold. And it has sort of, it operates, I would say it, not to get too deep into this because I'm definitely not an analyst on gold, but it does correlate to the international gold price, but because it's a different weight and measure, it doesn't get pulled into the vicissitudes of the international gold market to the same extent as gold would in a country that's primarily using an international standard weight and measure. So it's just an interesting point to bring up, but I think it's one that it gets into the fundamentals of the way money works. Weights and measures. This was something that was deemed so integrally important to not only public finance, but currency itself by the people that founded America, that they specifically mentioned weight and measures in Article 1 of the Constitution. So I just thought it was good, it'd be interesting to make a video on this. Clearly, again, you sort of scoff. At first glance, you think, oh, 96.5 and the weight and measure of the Thai baht, it's different. Therefore, you kind of, at first I just kind of dismissed it out of hand. I didn't really think about it. And then I kind of sat there and thought, wow, that has deep implications. That is a different weight and measure of a precious metal.